Welcome to Dirty in the Frame. We are talking about Mean Girls today. Mean Girls, the not musical. The musical, not musical. Asaad, I have not seen you in potentially a month.
Yes, it's been a minute.
That means I haven't podcasted in a month, so I am rusty.
Yeah.
Now, getting straight into it, spoiler alert, Asaad has not seen this movie.
Yeah, we're doing something a little different today. I wanted to, me and Sarah are fighting on forcing me to see it. I want to support Tina Fey. I'm like, man, just convince me to see it. So are you going to convince me to see it today?
I'm going to. I am going to convince you to see it today. And you've supported her enough. You went and saw this musical at the Pantages.
I did, yeah. People who don't know, LA, a lot of people think it's similar to New York. Like, we have a Broadway scene out here. We don't. It's terrible.
Well, let's not paint in broad strokes like that. Apparently, this touring cast that he saw that one day was not up to his...
Sarah Rebecca Stover. I've seen Lion King there.
Oh, you saw...
I've seen The Greatest Showman there.
Oh.
I've seen the new Michael Jackson there. I've seen Mean Girls there. It all fucking sucks.
I was going to ask if they're paying you to go to these things. Was that you're just going to musicals now? Gosh, I have such an influence on you.
So let's get into it, man. Convince me to see this movie.
Okay, quick summary of the film. A musical, reimagining. Well, actually, it's a reimagining. There was a movie, and then they reimagined that into a musical, and then they reimagined the musical into a movie.
Is that really what happened?
Yeah, so it was a film, then they made that into a musical, and then they made the musical into a musical film. Very confusing. Plot setters around Katie Heron, a naive teenage girl played by not Lindsay Lohan, who navigates her way through the social hierarchy of modern American high school after years of homeschooling by her parents as they conducted research in Africa. Well, in this movie, she doesn't have a dad. She just has a mom.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, actually. I was going to be offended for somebody, but that's actually true. Asaad, did you see the original Mean Girls?
Yeah, this is...
In 2004?
Yeah, early aughts, damn. Yeah, this movie was huge, man. This was one of the films that I think it's an anomaly it happened because it was so female-centric, but a lot of boys watched it. And I say boys, because it became like a teen phenomenon. And I don't know how they did it. Maybe like Easy A is a lower version of it. Mm-hmm. But this was very female-centric, and it got a lot of teenagers, not just women, to see it. So it was just like an anomaly when I was young.
Absolutely. And I never was on the Mean Girls train. I saw it, of course, and I liked it fine, but I didn't love it so much. I'm going to go right ahead to my one-word summary that Asaad's not going to join me in, but my one-word summary I'm proud of, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. It is fetch.
Oh, okay. They kept fetch in this, huh?
They kept fetch. Okay. So, I mean, are you convinced yet?
I'm not, but I do want to please tell me how much stuff they kept from the original and how much stuff they kind of remixed. I think that's the interesting part here.
I probably haven't seen the original since 2004, but there were some standout things to me.
It'll be easy for you because that shit's basically based on your life.
Yeah, exactly. I was homeschooled and not in Africa, but I was homeschooled and never went to the high school though. So I went into this film really not excited to see it because I'm a musical theater girly, but I am not a musical movie girly. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like they don't always land the plane in these, and it's really hard to make a good one. So I went in, I was talking to my mom, and it was raining, and I was walking to the theater. I was like, this is gonna suck. This movie's gonna suck. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Tina Fey won me over in the end. So we're gonna get into it. The film.
Tina Fey rarely misses.
Is that true? Yeah, I guess so. I never really got into 30 Rock, but I have seen episodes, and she's just so funny.
Yeah, she's the GOAT, man.
So I'm going to, as always, murder these names because I texted Asaad, and what did I say? I said, I'm going to butcher all these names. Why can't people name their kids Seth anymore? Just like, so boring. I know it was a joke. Okay, so the film starts with Janice, this girl, this lovely creature who also played Moana, the voice of Moana. Did you know that, Asaad?
I did not know.
Her name is Ali'i Cravoio. Hold on. I looked up all of these and watched YouTube interviews of them saying their own names, and I wrote them out phonetically. So I did try. Ali'i Cravoio. And Damien, played by Jaquil Spivey. That's this gentleman here. And they are in a garage, they're playing like, and tell me also how much this matches the musical, because I haven't seen the musical. They're playing kind of in a garage band, almost like they're making a music video, and they're the narrators of the show. So they are our Greek chorus introducing us to what this movie's going to be about. I felt like we were in good hands with them as our narrators. However, the first maybe 40 minutes of this film, I was like, this fucking sucks.
Why is that? So first act, tell me what doesn't work in the first act?
Honestly, I liked the girl that they cast as Katie. Caddy. And I really loved these two here. They were really great, and they can both sing, thank God. Okay? You know how I feel about that.
Oh, can I interrupt you? I'm
yes,
sorry.
Yes, please.
We're both ADD, so we hate interrupting each other because you're probably going to lose your thought. So do you have a chance to keep that thought?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know this because this might be the first musical we've reviewed on this podcast. Do most musicals, like the people that are acting, sing their own voice, or do they use someone else's voice? That's a dumb question, huh?
No, it's not a dumb question at all. I believe nowadays with movies like this, they use their own voice. Although in The Greatest Showman, you remember that "Never Enough," the girl from Top Gun.
Okay.
Anyways, she had somebody else. Sometimes they use other people, but generally, in my opinion, they use their own voices of famous actors who can't really sing but can kind of sing, a la 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 Land, your favorite movie.
Thank you.
But these people can really sing. I think they got real Broadway singers, which I was here for. The reason that the first act didn't work for me was because the songs that they started out with were really slow, and the girl who played Katie she was fine, but she wasn't a star like the rest of these people were. So, and it mostly started out with her, kind of sitting in a tent in Africa, and I was like, ugh, what else? This is going to be so jarring. And then they go to the high school and they're doing all this like, animal kingdom stuff, and I was like, this is too much. I don't care for it. Not for me, right? Where this movie starts working for me, Asaad, is when we meet Queen Icon legend, Renee Rapp. Oh no, go back. Renee Rapp, this gorgeous creature right here, who is she is Regina George. Like, she has more confidence in her pinky finger than I'll ever have in my whole body.
When I saw this trailer, Sarah, I thought, I couldn't remember a movie that did as good as a job casting of people that look like their daughters or parents than this movie.
Oh, because
they nailed this shit. Both Regina and Katie.
Yes, they really did.
They look exactly like their parents in this film.
Yeah,
it's kind of creepy.
It's Katie's mom is Pam from The Office, and she looks exactly like her. And Regina George's mom is Busy Phillips, and they look very, very similar.
It's crazy.
But I don't care so much about that unless it's glaring.
Yeah.
I did care that they again chose real singers, and that made me feel positively about this. When the plastics come in, I was like, okay, I'm kind of on board now. And the girl who plays Karen, which is, she's in the pink sweater here, this girl right here, she plays Karen Shetty, and she is Amanda Seyfried's part. And she is so beautiful and stunning to look at, but she was really almost, I thought, doing a caricature of the part. A little like playing at being dumb at first. I was like, ooh, this is a little heavy-handed. She's just really staring off into space. And then once I kind of leaned into the world, I think she was one of my favorite parts about it. She was really funny and really great, yeah.
I think it's not a lot of people make a deal about how tough it is just to play a role, but an iconic role that's already had like cemented thoughts in people that have viewed this movie already. You're not just working against like making this character work. You're working against a lot of preconceived notions about the character too. Absolutely,
and of course you want to do your research. You've seen the film. And you don't want to play the way they played it, but you also want to pay homage to them. So I agree, that's got to be a really difficult job to do.
Sarah, 5-second answer. If you could play in this movie, what role do you play? 5.
Regina George.
Oh, you're so catty.
I'm so fetch.
Okay.
Another highlight that I wrote down here was I loved the makeup that they did on. I'm trying to get better at this, going backwards thing. On this young lady here.
Yeah, you can tell from the poster, looks dope.
Yeah, and this was like a mild look for her. She had some really cool, everything felt very, and I'm definitely not the foremost authority. This will shock you, maybe, but I'm not the foremost authority on what's really hip and cool these days. I just said hip and cool, if that doesn't tip you off. But I thought they did a good job of updating the story a little bit to make, their wardrobe and their makeup and their looks, and they added some of the things that I would say that American teenagers these days are going through.
Cool.
And I liked that. Because I think Again, it's been a long time since I've been in high school, and when I was homeschooled. But the vibe that I get from today's youth is that there's a lot more kindness, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure people are still getting bullied, but there's a lot more awareness about therapy and being kind to each other, as opposed to like, it's cool to be a bully. And that's why I thought, oh, this isn't going to translate well to 2024. Does that make sense?
That's a great point. Yeah, that's how we feel. People who don't live in liberal-ass LA, maybe correct us if we're wrong, but I tend to agree with you that kids are getting nicer to each other, or maybe just the things that were glaringly wrong when we grew up are now being brought to a forefront, like bullying and maybe some other shit's happening. But I feel like that too, but I don't know if it's just like liberal LA bubble that's making me think that.
Yeah, I don't know either, but they did a good job of balancing it with kind of a few comments here and there that I really liked, and they were more inclusive, and I felt like the casting felt very natural. It didn't feel forced, you know. It wasn't like, it's very diverse, but it's not diverse just for the sake of being diverse, if that makes sense. And I felt like everybody in the cast, I'm just so excited to see them hopefully go on and continue to just kill shit, because by the end of this movie, I was dancing in my seat, and I was just so excited to see all of these really, really talented kids on screen.
You know what? That's a good point. Like, if you would have gave us maybe 2 or 3 guesses about who was going to be the most successful from the original Mean Girls movie, we probably would have been wrong.
What would you have said? I would have said
probably Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, me too.
You know, or like maybe Janice, or but Rachel McAdams is far and away the most successful, correct?
Yeah.
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 Cool to see where these kids will go.
It's interesting you bring up Lindsay Lohan. Did you know that she has a cameo in this movie?
Is that right? I've always had the biggest white girl crush on Lindsay Lohan.
Have you seen her recently?
No, what's that supposed to mean, man?
I was just curious.
Are we shaming Lindsay Lohan?
No, I was not at all. No, that's not what I meant by that at all. I was just curious.
I would just say, sorry for creep corner, but like, I liked thick Lindsay Lohan. Like, as a kid going through puberty, you know, the part where she like falls in a garbage can, you get to see her legs thick as hell. That did things to me while I was going through puberty. Back to you. Okay,
well, thank you for sharing what did things to you when you were going through puberty. And I will also comment. I know maybe I shouldn't comment on. I shouldn't comment on anyone's body, so I won't say anything. I will say I was glad to see that it was inclusive, and it didn't feel like there was it was cast because people looked a certain way.
Cool.
And that's all I'll say about that.
Well, so you're cruising into the second act, and now what? The plastics are taking care of you through the second act?
I'm not done talking about Lindsay Lohan. So she was in the end, and she played. Do you remember that the main girl, Katie, goes to the mathletes at the end, that competition? Lindsay Lohan makes a little surprise appearance where she is the moderator of that. And I thought she just did a great job. She only had a few lines, and I've seen interviews since where Renee Rapp said that she was about 9 months pregnant. Lindsay Lohan was 9 months pregnant when she shot that. Couldn't tell.
Shout out to them, like Tina Fey, for bringing her back and her doing it.
100%. Yeah, I think they were going to try. They tried to get some other people back in, as guest appearances, but I think ultimately she said, maybe just we can only fit one in, and that felt like a really nice little nod to the first film, but wasn't heavy-handed with having them pop up. It wasn't gimmicky.
Yeah.
She, like you said, Tina Fey just does a great job at anything that she does. Lauren Michaels said the same thing.
Very inclusive. And I hate to edit on the fly here, but do you mind going back and not saying Lindsay had a couple lines? I think that's kind of triggering.
Oh, gosh. She was pregnant. She probably wasn't having a couple of lines.
Continue.
I'm sure she's a very good mom. Love the makeup and hair on Janice. I was a little confused.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Can we switch to the other angle, please? Oh, still can't see him. It's okay. You're not missing anything. Not you. The kid who played Aaron, I would love anybody who's seen this thoughts on this. I thought the casting was a little odd to me. He didn't do anything, but maybe that was the point. Maybe he was supposed to be a little like, and I've given this a little bit of thought, and I was like, I bet you that was the point. He's supposed to be a little vanilla, but I also don't know who this kid is, and I don't know. I think he's from some other kind of popular Netflix teeny show. So that might have been the casting decision there. But the folklore goes that he was cast in this film and he declined the role because he didn't want to sing. And they took out all of his songs so that he could be in the movie. And I just don't understand why. He didn't do any, he wasn't bad, he wasn't good, he wasn't handsome, he wasn't ugly, he was just totally mid. And maybe that's the point, is to stop breaking your backs, ladies, over these mid dudes.
Wow. Okay. All right. I've been that mid dude for a lot of women. So thank you.
God, and no, you're God's gift, Asaad. You're not you. Let's see, what else?
That lighting when you go close to your computer, hit it again. Look at that lighting. Oh my God.
Glowing.
Never had a wrinkle in your face ever.
What'd you say? Say it again.
Never had a wrinkle in your face ever. Will you give a dramatic Natalie Portman perfume line?
Dramatic.
You fucking crushed
What
that.
did I say?
You crushed that.
What did I just say? Who knows? Nobody knows. Okay. Didn't know Renee Rapp.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just get me started, and I would like to talk about this for at least 45 minutes, so buckle up. So Renee Rapp has the vocal gymnastics of Beyonce and meets the best singer in the world. I don't know.
Sarah, don't do that. That's like the one person you can't compare people to, fam.
Well,
another edit on the fly. Can we say something else?
I don't know any other singers who have vocal gymnastics like that, but I'm sure I could think of some. Patti LuPone. Nobody knows who that is. No, when I say gymnastics, it's very specific. Like, she has the most control of her voice. She just has so much control, and she just does. She's running laps around everybody in this film, and her voice is insane. Her confidence is through the roof, and I thought she did a great job. That being said, again, everybody had a really nice voice in this, even Katie, who I would say was probably the least strong vocally. Moving on to my rose.
Okay, let's hear it.
And then I'm gonna give you my rose and thorn, and then I'm gonna ask you if you're gonna go see this movie. Okay. So, rose, very specific, and you won't understand this, Asaad, but the people who have seen this movie will. At the very end of the movie, after, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, the musical, or the movie musical since 2004, I don't know, you're probably not watching this. Regina George gets hit by a bus, and she has to go to homecoming in this like neck brace thing. And Renee Rapp plays the character like she's a little high on Valium, but she does it so well and subtly that she's not doing the like, whoa man, I'm high, bro. And she's not high. She just is she just plays it so well. I thought this woman has been around people or has done drugs before. Like, she's either been around these people at a party or she's done it because she just like, it was very light and she giggled a lot and she, it was just really fun. And I have 2 honorary mentions for my rose because I really, really liked this movie. The Revenge Party number. Do you remember that at all from seeing the musical?
I do, yes, very much so.
Did you like it in the musical?
It was okay, yes.
So imagine that with a amazing pair of singers here, and really well shot. They did the transitions into the musical numbers they were really smart about it too. It didn't feel very clunky to me, and I was impressed by that. So Revenge Party was just so fun. It was bright, it was colorful, there was confetti everywhere. It was just fun. And this is the part where I was like, all right, I'm fully in on this. There's been some really great musical numbers. Some of them are really fun. The other one that I really liked was Halloween. Oh, it's called Sexy, actually. This young lady who I wrote her name down, Avantika. Nope, go back to the other angle. She plays Karen Shetty. Avantika, this young lady right here. She sings this song about how you can be sexy and like a smart woman and run the world, and she's great. And it's fun, and the choreography is great, and the camera angles are great, and there's a lot of fun colors, and the music is great, and she's a great singer, and they're great actors, and it's just fun and funny and really, really perfect and sweet, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is the point in the movie, third act, where I was just like, I'm all in, I'm dancing in my seat, I'm having a great time. My thorn was, this movie is brought to you by Fox. You guys, the product placement in this film was insanely overt. They had a Samsung, one of those little phones that you can flip in half like this, in every shot for absolutely no reason. They're zooming in on the elf lipstick in every other shot. I was like, wow, guys, could we be I get it. Someone had to pay $500,000 for Lindsay Lohan to show up for 30 minutes. But could we be a little more subtle about it? Maybe like do a car or have it like subtly in the shot. Oh man, it was Elf and Samsung were paid for this film. and we all knew it.
Will you promise me that we'll never get that popular? We'll sell out to popular food groups and other advertisers that would need sponsor dollars, and our pod becomes just like a soulless, mindless.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry. I could go for a Harvest Bowl from Sweet Green.
I want something healthy.
Ooh, you know what? I want something delicious. What's healthy and delicious?
I want something sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so a lot of product placement.
A lot of really heavy-handed product placement. And I'm going to go to my double feature, which I said bottoms or theater camp, both, probably bottoms, really, but movies that I just had a fun time in, you know, and it is what it is. It's not trying to be anything crazy or spectacular. It's not trying to win any awards. I just thought that these lovely young humans did such a good job. I will also point out that every background actor in the cafeteria scenes were at least 37 years old. The median age was 37 in that high school.
Everyone go back and watch Grease. You'll be like, this guy is 42.
It's insane.
It's so tough to cast like young people. I guess it's like a talent thing, but every high school movie's like, that guy's 32.
Yeah. I had a great time. It was fun. It was funny. The cast was inclusive. It was bright. It was just a really good time at the movies. My gummy rating is 1 gummy. I really enjoyed this film. I would say you could have a little cocktail, have a little gummy, or not. It was just fun.
Can I ask you 3 questions really quickly about the movie? I don't want to cut you off. What were you going to say?
I was just going to go to my trailer trash.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Trailer trash is most excited to see. I saw a new trailer, Asaad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's for a movie called If by John Krasinski.
Oh, no kidding.
Have you seen it? The trailer?
No. What is it about? Logline me.
Oh, it's about little kids' imaginary friends, and Ryan Reynolds can see them.
Oh, you know, me and you were probably the only 2 people that liked Ryan Reynolds and something guy.
Mm-hmm. Free Guy.
Free Guy, and I am not I can't do Ryan Reynolds fan.
I'm with you. I was watching this and I was like, this is a really cool concept for a movie. I really liked it, and I love John Krasinski, and I think he's got, you know, I've only seen one of his movies, or 2, I guess now, but The Quiet Place, but I was like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, and I used to love Ryan Reynolds' shtick.
Yeah.
But I'm just over it now.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like you've seen the same thing over and over, and, you know, all power to you. I think you're a great guy. I'm with you. I was like, ooh, can I sit through another, it's just the same thing every time.
I feel it.
And my least excited to see was, I don't know, it's called One from the Heart reprise. It might just be an Alamo thing, so just don't listen to what I'm saying about that.
Triple questions for you now.
Let's do it.
Quick answers. Do you want a sequel to this movie?
No.
Do you think this movie could have benefited largely if it came a little bit sooner after Barbie?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think people were excited to get dressed up and go to the movies, and I did mention to you that I saw some little tween girls coming out of Alamo Drafthouse, and they were all in their pink and boas and stuff after obviously coming out of seeing this movie. And I just think that's so great and fun, and that's what the movies are about, you know. It's like going to the cinema and just having fun, eating popcorn and like drinking a soda and just having fun and being entertained and escaping your terrible life for an hour.
I thought that too. I thought maybe if they would have done this a month after, because Barbie seemed to have eventized movie going again. And I'm like, I wonder if it would have cut into Barbie's proceeds, or if it would have been like, oh, cool, this has been like a cool 2 months for women to dress up in pink and go have a lot of fucking fun at the movies. You know?
Yeah.
Last question. Better as a musical?
Yes.
It was? Okay. You didn't want it the remake to just be like the first one, no musical, played straight. You like the musical portion.
Yeah, I really that's what ended up getting me in the end. I didn't like it at the very beginning, probably first 20 to 40 minutes. I'm not sure. I didn't check my timer, but after that I was like, I'm all in. This is fun. I'm having a great time. And it was an experience. The people in my theater were excited to see it. They were all cheering and clapping, and at the end they did the thing with the outtakes where they're showing people just doing stuff, and we love that. It's fun, you know. So I would say if you haven't seen it yet and you're interested, go see it. It's really fun. It was a really fun time at the movies. Asaad, you're not going to go see this, but will you maybe give it a watch?
For Christmas, I bought myself an AMC Stubs membership, which is like $30 to see 3 movies a week.
He won't
also
even
10%
see
off
a
his snacks.
stub.
We are also sponsored by them right now. So this is definitely, your pitch on it has definitely earned one of my movies a week. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Winning. All right, thank you all very much for listening, for watching, And a special thank you to our subscribers, our swimmers, and Patreon members. We will be back with another movie review very soon, whether you like it or not. Bye, guys.